For folks who don't know me, my name is Kolfina Inkira Oltarsdottir. I'm currently the Baroness of Bringelod, Lady of Hellsgate, the ear to the Kingdom Web Minister. But today I am your training rep, I guess, for the AMP team. And I'm going to be talking through AMP version 1.4. This is the release that as of today is live. We did deploy it Thursday evening, so it's possible that you might have seen some of these features already if you had logged in. And there's some exciting new features that will impact you as a local seneschal. So this presentation, let me advance it. I'm going to do first kind of slides and lecture, so you have all the content. Then I will do a live demo of AMP so you can actually see what I'm talking about. And then we'll have time for Q&A at the end. The things that, so that's what we are going to cover. Things that I'm not going to go into is real step-by-step details of like all of the basic features of AMP. I'm not going to talk about using AMP as a marshal, as a seated noble, great officer, none of that. We're just focusing on the things that are relevant to you as a local seneschal. If folks have questions along the way, I can take them, but use the chat, raise your hand, and we'll kind of I'll do breaks periodically to answer questions if they're accumulating.
And I'll try to answer chats in real time.
Yay, thank you, Martin. Okay, so what is AMP? Hopefully you've used it. If not, you should be. So right now, AMP is a portal that when it first deployed was the new shiny version of our Marshal authorization database, but now it's the portal that we use to manage user accounts, Marshal activities, award recommendations, tracking offices, and warrants for warranted positions. And then the new modules that impact you guys is the new Gatherings module and the Waivers module. In general, AMP helps Ansteorra keep our administration simple, centralized, and secure. It is an open source project in the developer team. We are always looking for folks who want to help code, who want to help kick the tires and test things, or help develop and work on design. Right now, officers, marshals, and fighters are required to have an AMP account. So as a local seneschal, if you don't already have an account, that is something you'll need to create because that's how you get warranted by the Crown and Great officers. But in general, AMP has a lot of features that are good for everybody, so we think everybody should learn what it does. Visit amp.ansteorra.org. You can either log in, register as a new user, and what does it do? We're going to do a high-level rundown of the modules. I've included this in the slides for seneschals because since you are going to be using it for managing waivers, your local marshals are going to be using it, your local folks are going to be using it. Having a high-level understanding of the system will be good in case your local folks are like, what is that? You do not need to be an expert in all of these modules, but it's good information just to have it floating in the back of your brain. So user accounts, this is available to everybody. This is our core support for individual accounts, securing user data and PII, both according to SDA policy and best practices for data management. This allows configure your profile and gives you an interface to view your profile, history, request authorizations, and submit award recommendations. It's kind of that base core user account module. Marshal activities, this is available to everybody to request authorizations, and then our marshals, authorizing marshals, and kingdom marshal officers can use it to approve or deny authorization requests. They can use it to like download the marshal roster and things like that. And then a new feature that impacts marshals, but also you, is there's now a new and improved mobile menu for requesting and approving marshal authorizations, but it also has a new feature for waivers, which I will get into shortly. That's what we're building towards. Award recommendations. This has been in development and has gotten lots of fun updates, but this is the system that we're moving towards to try and manage all award recommendations in the kingdom. It does support submitting award recommendations for everything from your local baronial or like Canton awards all the way up to Kingdom. And we have new features so that only appropriate nobility can see awards relevant to them. So like your landed nobles can't see Kingdom award recommendations, just to keep the scope appropriate. We don't really need to know more about the award module, so moving on. Offices, officers in Ansteorra use this. This is why we need officers to have an account. This now AMP keeps track of current, previous, and upcoming offices held. Any individual user can go to their account and view like their current offices they've held. As a local seneschal, this module allows you to appoint or release deputies. Specifically, this could be your ER deputy if you have one, but it's also the thing you can use to hire event stewards. You know, they're going to be a deputy of the seneschal as an event steward for so long, and you can use AMP to hire that, which both keeps them in kind of the department roster of somebody who's operating under the authority of your office, and it also for those event stewards, it adds that as a term of service on their profile. So wanted to mention that in case, because it is new, and if you haven't started doing that, that's a good thing to start developing the habit of doing. One note, there's a lot of features in the offices module for our regional and kingdom officers, but if for any event you need to release a deputy from an office, the system does require you to put a reason, and that reason will be visible to the person you are releasing from office. So keep that in mind when you're writing releases. Warrants. This is related to the officer module. This is the system that allows us to create our regnum of officers. The grade officers use it to generate their warranting rosters and submit them to the Crown every 6 months. You as a local seneschal care about this module because if, for example, your local rapier marshal hasn't been appointed in AMP, when roundtable comes around and the marshal department sends its roster to the Crown, your marshal officer won't get warranted. And we need warrants as officers in order to operate with the authority given to us by the organization. This is like the administrative paperwork side of things. So being aware of, are my officers in AMP? Is, are their memberships up to date? Those are the kind of things that you kind of can help as a local seneschal, poke your local folks to poke their uplines and make sure that everybody's all in the system correctly. Okay, so I'm going to do quick overview, not quick, but I'm going to talk about the waivers module, talk about the gatherings module, cover a few frequently asked questions, and then I'm going to kind of do a pause to if folks have questions and things, and then I'll go into a live demo. So the waivers module is new. This is going to be used by warranted local officers. So that's you as a local seneschal. It includes if you've got landed nobility, your rapier officers, my name marshal officers, any local officers that are warranted. And it's also used by the waiver secretary, who, because of this, now has a wonderful automated dashboard to keep track of waiver statuses. It's very exciting. But what does it do? This module is designed to track what waivers are required for each gathering. Gathering is a catch-all term for any SCA get-together. It could be local activities, weekend events, revels, things like that. We needed a collective noun for all of the things because both activities and events were taken. We didn't want to confuse folks, so we decided to call them gatherings. This module will add for you, for you and your local warranted officers an action item at the top of your menu that says gatherings needing waivers. I'll demo how that works and how it affects you in a second. For the waiver secretary, they get a detailed dashboard that tracks waiver submission status by gathering, by group, and by waiver type. And it allows all of the local warranted officers, so that's you and your marshal officers, will probably be the ones using it the most, to upload waivers directly through AMP to the waiver secretary, and you can either do it from desktop or new and shiny straight from the mobile app. It's cool. So in order to track waivers by gathering, we needed to be able to have gatherings in AMP. The gatherings module adds a lot of new features that will be available to everybody in the kingdom. Everybody will be able to view the gatherings in AMP. Use a local seneschal will be able to create and manage gatherings for your local group in AMP, as well as the kingdom calendar deputy will be able to create and manage gatherings. At a high level, this module will allow you and all users to view gatherings in AMP. And then there's some fun features that we built in with thinking forward to the future. Folks can mark attendance, you can add staff, you can view like a public landing page. There's a lot of very, very cool features in the gatherings module that we're encouraging folks to explore. But for your purposes, this module allows you to create gatherings hosted by your group. And for AMP 1.4, so this release, those can be limited to only things that might need waivers. So fighter practices, equestrian practices, things like that. So that was kind of the high level of just what are each of the modules. So you as a local seneschal already have access to all of the baked in features for a user account. I'm not going to do a detailed demo of all of these things. So this slide in this deck is here just so that you can kind of know what all you already have access to. The two that I'll highlight in the demo as well is that you can view your membership information that we have in AMP and your warrantable status. So in order to be warrantable by society, we have to have your name, email, I think a phone number, an address. There might be something else, but we have the system set to automatically be like, do we have all of the minimum things that society requires to give you a warrant? And if not, your profile will say, hey, you're not warrantable. Here's what you're missing. So that's something to keep an eye out. If you're most common is if you've renewed your membership and AMP doesn't, if we don't have the new date, it'll go, your membership is expired and we just need to get the updated expiration date. Okay, additional features for local seneschals. You have now access to the officer config for your branch. This is where you can appoint your deputies and view a limited view of who are the current officers in your branch. You have access to add gatherings. I mentioned that. You now have the ability to upload waivers to AMP after activities are complete, or you can attest we didn't need them. And then you're gaining the action item called gatherings needing waivers. And this lets you keep track of waiver status for the gatherings that are happening in the near term in your group. So this is our announcement, official disclaimer. We are pleased to introduce the waiver submissions through AMP as a part of a gradual rollout. To ensure a smooth transition, the traditional email method, email your waivers to the waiver secretary, will still remain available for at least the next 6 months. But we are encouraging you and other users to start using the AMP platform at your convenience, but it's not currently mandatory. The rest of the bullets on this slide are things that I have already mentioned, so I'm just going to move forward. Gatherings. We encourage you to start adding gatherings in AMP. The reason to add gatherings is you can't upload a waiver for a gathering unless the gathering is in AMP. So you have to create the gatherings in order to upload the waivers. Yep. Just as info, the waivers, what we're talking about, equestrian activity waivers, family minor waivers, gate sign-in sheets, if you have them, minor waiver, and then our probably most common one is the participation roster waiver that we use at most of our practices. So those are the types of forms that we're talking about. All right, this is the FAQ. Some FAQ that we I see the question in the chat about for the AMP app. If Martin doesn't answer in the chat, I'll answer that here in a minute. Gatherings and waivers. If we're creating gatherings in AMP, doesn't this duplicate some of the Kingdom calendar or your local calendar? Yes, it does. And in this first phase, gatherings are not intended to replace the Kingdom calendar or your local calendar. The focus is on streamlining and simplifying waiver management. But we're thinking forward to how cool could this be. There will be more updates to the gatherings module that hopefully will render our current calendars work, automate them out of the job. But we are not to that point yet. As a local seneschal, don't I already have to report on gatherings monthly? Yes, you do. And for a short period while everybody onboards to using AMP to manage waivers, you will have to do a little bit of double duty of listing activities twice for a few months while we onboard. So you'll have to still report on your Seneschals report with gatherings, as well as start using AMP to do it. But our plan, and with our waiver secretary and our Kingdom Seneschal, is basically phase out that part of the Seneschals report with the data from AMP, so you don't have to report on it monthly. It'll just come. AMP will handle it for you. Other question: will you have to put every single local gathering in AMP? Not right now. The only ones that you need to add are the ones that could require waivers. Things that have gate, things that have adult or youth combat, things that have equestrian, right? Things that might require one of those 5 forms. Do you, as a local seneschal, have to upload every single waiver? Nope. No, you don't. The module gives all of the warranted officers in your local group the ability to upload waivers. That means your local rapier marshal can pull up AMP, snap a picture of the waiver, upload it, and it's done. You'll be able to use the action item to track if they've done it or not. But we're wanting to kind of spread the load, delegate the waiver upload to across anybody who's responsible for practices. And then, can I still email waivers to the waiver secretary? I said this before, but it's worth repeating. Yes, you can still just email waivers in, but we're encouraging you to start using AMP to track your gatherings and start uploading them now. Encourage your marshals to start doing it as well. But the traditional method will remain available for about 6 months or so. We want to have a relatively fast onboarding process for automating this in AMP. At this point, do folks have questions? So the next thing I'm going to do is demo these features. And Martin or Jillian, if there's stuff in the chat that you think is worth for me to talk through, I can do that too. Kingdom Seneschal.
Will there be the ability to download reports for the Seneschal? So in other words, can they go in and say, these are all the waivers that have been uploaded yet? Because I know that there's not a lot of query options in AMP yet, but is that something that you guys are looking forward to in the future?
Long term, somewhere over the horizon where we hope to reach, right, the promised land, is that you as Kingdom Seneschal and regional Seneschals can get whatever reporting you need out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But local Seneschals don't need, if they're using AMP and they're submitting it's all there. So they don't need to add it to their reports in the future. That's over the horizon, right? But if we're doing everything in AMP, then eventually that section of the Seneschal's report where it says what activities did I have, what demos did I have, that'll just goes away because it's all already in AMP, and we work with you guys in regional and Kingdom to make sure you guys have the right reports to fulfill your obligations upstream. So ultimately, we try to make life easier for everybody, right?
Right. I was just being, honestly, it was my selfishness asking that, not necessarily for the local.
We're happy to work out what reports you need for sure. You're a primary constituent in regards to the outputs of this data. And there was another question. Yes, so you can combine and Kofina's going to demo this.
Mhm.
How the system works is when you create a gathering, you say all the activities that are going to be in that gathering, and it collapses it into the required set of waivers for that gathering. So we do the business rules of, if your gathering is these 4 things, these are the 2 or 3 waivers you need because that's what's required for these 3 things or 4 things or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Let's see. I see a hand from Darlene.
Yes, thank you. I'm looking at the screen
Mhm.
and I see action items, members, gatherings, configuration. On my thing, all I have is members and gathering because I'm not a seneschal yet.
Mhm.
But I was wondering if I am a deputy seneschal or someone is a deputy seneschal and they need access to this because their seneschal is ill or out of town. Who do we contact to say I need the access?
So that would be the AMP team. We, in this kind of very initial release of this module, the access is to the Seneschals, as you correctly noted. We are working on basically adding additional roles or kind of basically delegation of permissions so that Seneschals can say, here's my, gatherings deputy or, person who can view this along, basically can delegate the responsibility out. So it's not something we have today, but it is something that we're going to look at rolling out real soon.
So if I become a deputy seneschal in my group, which is Ravensfort, then my seneschal can say, Anise, will you please do the gatherings to update the calendar while they're doing something with waivers? Is that correct?
That's what we're looking to add. Yeah.
We don't.
And
something like that. We don't currently have it today.
Okay.
Long-term sense.
And is the support button that I see, is that how we contact AMP?
The support button, that's the right button.
We got rid of the feedback button because it was being used wrong.
Yes, click the support button. That'll take you to the Discord server, and that's going to be the best place to ask questions. And then if anybody ends up in an emergency situation, or like my Seneschal's out of pocket, you haven't given me these permissions, what do I do? Join this, reach out in the support channel, because all of the admins can help with things like that. If you need, waivers uploaded, or you need, something done in a quick turnaround, that is something that we can also help with. If there's features that aren't deployed yet, and you still need to get stuff done. Okay, let's see, I'm sharing. So I'm screen sharing this is AMP-UAT. This is our test environment. This has all the same features as AMP Live, but it has test users and whatnot, so I don't have to worry about sharing people's actual personal information. So I'm currently logged in. Oh, I'm still here. As a test user who is a local seneschal. And if I scroll down on his account, I check his offices. I say, yep, he's currently assigned as a local seneschal. And you can see for the focus on this is waivers and gatherings. There's 2 new items in your menu. You have the action items drop down and the gatherings drop down. I'm going to do the gatherings first because I think the action items makes more sense if you've seen the gatherings first. But what you get for gatherings is you can expand the gatherings, click on calendar, and this will be kind of your main mechanism for adding things. Again, this is our test thing, so we've got all sorts of test activities added in here. Make this bigger, yeah. And so your local seneschal, you need to upload waivers for your fighter practice. In order to do that, it has to be added in AMP. So you click on Add Gathering. We're going to put in our SAMP for seneschals. Oh, I can spell. So I don't know. Practice. Oh. Name your gathering. Select the branch that it's going to be for. This seneschal that I'm demoing with, this is a seneschal Stargate, so that's the only branch they can pick. And then you can choose the gathering type. The ones in this dropdown are kind of common gathering types that we thought of or we're testing with as AMP. this list
people
may
won't see
change.
People won't
as-
see the drop downs. So
Oh, here, let me
there's a
change
list
my,
there in the drop down.
no, hang on, let me just change my, to do the screen.
Yeah, since you're sharing the browser, it won't show the actual drop downs.
Yeah. No, good point. Where's my thing? Okay. Now can you see them?
Yes, they're showing up now.
Okay.
Yes.
So these drop downs, they're kind of common activity types. If it's just an equestrian practice, if it's an armored and rapier, armored only, local martial practice it's everything. So I'm going to click that. Choose our start date, end time. This is important for the waiver secretary because they need to know if the gathering has ended. And then once it's ended, if the waivers have been submitted. So I'll put kind of a real time. The other three fields are location, time zone, we can ignore that, and description. Since right now in AMP, we care about, you need the gathering in order to upload the waivers. This you can be as detailed in the description or not as you want at this point. And you click create. Yay. So the gathering has been created. A few things up here, you can always click edit if you need to edit kind of these core details for the gathering. Back. Once you have a gathering the way you like it, you can clone it. And so, right, I picked the local martial practice. And so by default, it says these are all of the activities that are going to happen at this practice. Now your practice, say it doesn't have equestrian, you can say, no, get rid of it. It's not going to have equestrian. Go to the activities and say it is going to have, I don't know, gate sheets. And so you can customize kind of your thing the way you want. And then if you need to then clone it to say this happens every month, it should make it pretty easy for you to throw these into AMP at the top of the month. And then they'll all be set for you. So create the gathering, set the activities that are going to be in it. And then the system says, based on your activities chosen, these are the types of forms that you might need to submit. From the desktop, once your activity has concluded, because if you submit waivers before the activity, that doesn't make any sense. And the waiver secretary might come asking you questions. But you can come in here and say, I'm going to submit the minor waivers. When you submit these, and I think for all of these, you get two choices. You either get to say, I'm going to submit the waiver. On desktop, you can click and it'll prompt you to pick a file from your machine. Or you can say this form was not needed. For minor waivers, you can say, yes, we had a practice, but there were no minors, so no form. If you need to add additional notes for the waiver secretary, you can add them here. Question from Darlene, and then I see Nikay's after that.
So I'm assuming that you need to have a scanner so you can scan these into your computer, correct?
You do not need to have a scanner because you can also do this from mobile. So if you have a phone that has a camera, you can do that too. I suspect that the desktop upload will be the least frequently used, but it's there if you need it. Review and submit.
The mobile button real quick, just so they see the contents of that.
I was just going to get through the submit.
Oh, yes.
You wanted to see, so I said there were no minor waivers, and so now this little summary says these were exempted, and it'll tell you who attested that. Yes.
One quick comment on minors is we do not need minor waivers for minors who are members. So we might consider changing the verbiage on the new minors there.
Like all minors for waivers.
Configurable if we need it.
Yeah, we can adjust that.
Just a minor one, but that has been an argument with people insisting on parents signing waivers for member children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something we can configure and add another little radio button for that. Oh yeah, so I was going to show you. So that on desktop, that's what that looks like. But we now have a mobile menu. I'll make it smaller so we can pretend that this is my phone. Whoop. If you click, so the way I got to that desktop, and there's a button, mobile, right at the top. So if you're on your phone, you can click the mobile menu and it'll get you to the mobile friendly webpage. From there, you can click If you want to request authorizations, you can do that from mobile now too, but you can submit a waiver. And so this will maybe give you kind of a streamlined one. And so you can pick, here's our AMP for Seneschal's practice, choose your activity, choose the type of waiver. I'm going to do minor waivers because I can attest that they weren't needed. Oh, this doesn't have the attest button. That's a bug. Let me go back. Do
That is
participation.
because the family minor waiver didn't have in UAT. You don't have a allowed attestation setting. It's all configurable.
Okay.
So
All right. So
waivers can be configured to or not to have attestation, and that waiver was configured not to have attestation.
okay. So that'll work fine in production. The same thing, you get the same option, upload waiver. So on mobile, you get the option you can click and it'll pull up your camera, and so you can either snap a picture, or if you already have one, just click the image. And then same sort of thing. If you ended up not having participation roster waivers either because it was canceled or all participants had blue cards, you can attest that and then submit from mobile as well. So the mobile menu, you can visit the mobile friendly version in your browser, but why not make it an app? And so when you're on the mobile page on Android, if you hit the menu and then scroll down to add to home screen, it'll prompt you. You can say install this as an app, and then you'll literally get an app on your phone, and you can just tap it and it'll pull up the AMP mobile menu. If you're on an Apple device, when you're on this screen, I think it's a bottom center, there's the share button. It's like this rectangle with an arrow on it. Click that, and same thing, add it to home screen. And that's how you get turn this page into an app.
And the last option is you can also email this page to yourself, mobile card, and that will, if you don't want to if you're on your desktop and you want to make it mobile quickly, you can click email mobile card, then go to your phone, open the email, there's a link, and then that link will open a web page and you'll follow the rest of Kofina's instructions as to how you add it to your homepage. But that is a way, if you don't want to log in to the desktop from your mobile phone, you could log into desktop and then send yourself the link.
And because this is a lot of information, and I understand if you don't all immediately memorize it, the slide deck that I'm talking through today has pre-recorded video demos of how to get it to mobile, and also the stuff that I'm doing here. So if you need to re-reference it later, we've got video walkthroughs that you can go through after this. Okay, so creating gatherings, pretty simple. Create gathering, customize it, nice and done. And then here's where the action items come in. So you now will have an action item called gatherings needing waivers. It'll show you gatherings that have ended, gatherings that are upcoming, and from here give the option to upload waivers. And this will take you to that same form. As the Seneschal, ideally you can use this as a, hey marshals, your practice has ended, please upload your waivers dashboard, so that you can nudge whoever was responsible for practices. But if there's a practice that you were, the warranted officer overseeing the practice, then this will tell you, you can use this as well to be like, oh, whoops, forgot to do that. So you can keep track of it. One last thing that I mentioned but haven't shown yet, you have the config branches menu option. So if you expand that and click on branches, you'll be able to see the branches that you are assigned to. So this user can see the branch of Stargate. So this gives you as a Seneschal a limited view of your branch. You can see, the location, what's the parent, Southern region. If we have Facebook, Discord links, website, those are on here too. But you can also see the SCA names and like term start and end dates for assigned officers. So this is, again, the demo environment, so we don't have everybody appointed in here, but you can see that we've got somebody in as the local armored marshal and as the local seneschal, and then there's a table version as well. You can look at previous, if there are any, current, if there are any, and then you can view SCA names only and membership info for folks in AMP who have set their group in this example, to Stargate. Those are the only people that you can see.
And this is actually hinting at a security change we've made. We now lock all PII behind an extra special permission. So even if somebody isn't supposed to get to this page, unless we've gone through the effort of giving them the ability to see PII, they will only ever be able to see SCA names, basic membership information, stuff like that.
I see Aldonza question in the chat say I'm not finding the ad gatherings or branch config. That most likely means you need to be appointed or we need your membership information up to date. So at any point, if two things happen, if your term ends, you'll lose the permissions that are associated with that office. But also if the membership date that we have for you in AMP passes, the system will also remove permissions from you until you get your membership up to date. So those are the two most common things to check if you're not seeing these and you are a Seneschal.
I have confirmed Aldonza is warranted as Seneschal Peltsgate right now. So
they can
later.
Yeah, Aldonza, we'll follow up with you. Or if you're in the Discord, send a message and then that will help make sure we don't forget. So question, I see Seneschal of Eldern Hills, will you be able to assign officers to the roles that are not filled? No, the upline for whatever department is the person who needs to be appointing officers in those departments. You can appoint, if you click assign officer, because you'll see the button, you can appoint in AMP local Seneschal deputies. And you can put in specific descriptions. So if it's, event steward, or Yule 2025, you can put that in there and then choose the officer that you want to appoint. I don't remember who has the thing. And then for a steward, right, if you want to put a short term, they need it from today until a month after the event, you can put those dates in there. Otherwise, the default term length when you appoint somebody is it'll start today and go for 2 years. That's just like the default. Eldon Hills has a shadow lane and social media officer, but they're blank on your screen. That means that just AMP hasn't been updated to reflect that they've been hired. So this is they need to poke their regional or the kingdom officer and say, I'm not showing up in AMP. Can you please fix this? And then if the regionals or other folks are having trouble hiring, then they reach out to us and we can sort it out. I want to quickly go back here. Demo mobile app. Yeah. Keep going. Just this is kind of my last slide that I wanted to talk through, and then the rest of this session can just be Q&A. What's next for AMP? So the AMP developer team and the current seated royalty, so Crown and heirs, meet regularly, usually monthly, to collaborate, sync up, and plan out the roadmap for what's coming next. So version 1.5, so the July release, we are currently, the goal is to do another round of updates to the award module. It'll allow an ability to combine multiple recommendations into one, allow better delegation of awards to staff via AMP, and then allowing complex approvals for awards that are shared between multiple sets of nobility. The best example for that is local service orders, because the crown and the local nobility both have to do a thumbs up. And so this release is a big administrative side, waivers, gatherings, user permissions. Then we're going to do another round of awards. And then next January, we're aiming to add support for dynamic forms. I have on here, this will pave the road to allow for, the Crown to perhaps distribute polling surveys to orders, support for adding officer reports at AMP, also things like adding activity signups for events, signing ups for lists, for competitions, for volunteer shifts, and more. And so if you're looking at the gatherings in AMP and thinking, wow, this looks almost like a full web page, that's kind of where we're moving. As I can show you.
I'm going to post a link here. If you were to use AMP today to kind of try to fully populate an event, it will create a public landing page that you can choose to turn on or not. And I put a link in the chat. I went ahead and filled out Bjornsberg's coming event. It is not, there's more detail that could be here than is here, but this is everything that you can choose. So we have the event steward. You can list other staff as well if you wanted to, so your feast steward or whatever. And they'll optionally whether or not their contact information is published. The event steward contact information is required. That's part of society rules, right? But there's the event description. If you scroll down, it's got the schedule. So we actually went through and took the schedule and put it into AMP. If you scroll further down, it's got the a location using Google Maps so people can get directions to the event. It's fully integrated. And then if you're logged into AMP, you can RSVP, which we didn't really touch on. This is something to share with your members. There's kind of 4 levels of RSVP. Level 1 is you don't want anybody to know you're showing up, but it will add a count to the event so that the event knows X number of people have RSVP'd, which is not the same thing as pre-registering. Option 2 is you want to tell the event that you're coming and they'll have your name. Might be good for like if somebody wants to volunteer. Option 3 is nobility. And that is to tell the crown you're going to be there, which is great for the crown because if there's award recs for you, it'll actually put a little star next to that event. So they'll know you think you're going to be there. Obviously, if you can't be there, life happens, but it helps them make decisions as to where they may or may not try to call you into court. And then option 4 is tell the kingdom. That won't show up on the public website, but it will show up to anybody who's logged in that you are going. And that's a way for you to tell your friends that you plan to be there. Be honest, I don't think a lot of people are going to use option 3, tell the kingdom, but there's a lot of value in the other ones for sure.
Yep. Yeah, and so I pulled us back to my test one. So if you do the share to kingdom, anybody who clicks on that gathering will see you in this list of attendees. If you remove that, that goes away. And then it'll always let you know if you've marked that you're attending, and then you can always remove your attendance at any point in time for whatever reason. Most often, I suspect folks will do the share with nobility and crown. All right, I saw a hand, Jillian.
So one of the other things that I want to make sure everybody is aware of, especially on that mark your attendance, share with nobility / crown thing, as a former crown recently who used AMP to try and give awards to people and make sure they were going to be at the event that they or somebody else said that they would be at. Having this ability to go into the calendar and say, hey, I'm going to be at these events really helps your crown know what awards and when to schedule any award that they have to give you. So keeping that up to date is beneficial not only to you, but also to your crown.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, any other questions? We've got 15 more minutes in the hour before lunch. And me and Martin and Jillian are here for anything y'all need. Also, if you want me to like repeat something, happy to do that. Is that JP?
Did you show
No,
the
the
cloning?
other
You showed
Carl from
cloning.
the-
Oh, wrong Carl. My bad. Sorry, Carl Slater.
Raise.
Hand raise.
Yeah, when are we going to have documentation within AMP to show us how to do these things for people that don't use it every day or not part of the AMP team?
There's a whole website, Rafe.
Yeah, so there is AMP or Ansteorra.org/AMP. It'll take you here. We already have a page that has kind of quick links to all of these trainings. AMP for everyone, that's a class I'm going to teach this afternoon that covers all of like the basic features. But that's there and has pre-recorded video walkthroughs as well. And then there's these trainings for Seneschals, grade officers, and marshals. We also have the very detailed AMP user guide that I'm pretty sure is up to date with all of the waivers and gatherings changes. And this has step-by-step walkthroughs of how to do everything in AMP. I need to go finish updating the menu. We're just gonna, I'll do that this weekend.
And for anybody who's a software developer and wants to help us move faster because they see features that are cool and they want to use them, there's also a full developer guide available. I think it's ansteorra.github.io/AMP, I think, or something like that, or KMP. I can post that up for developers who want to join the team. And you know how it's like going to be like almost a year before we get to reporting? That could be less than a year if developers helped us.
Yeah. So there is already a lot of documentation. If you check those out and you're going through them and you say, this documentation doesn't cover XYZ, use that support button, jump in the Discord server and let us know, because those are all things that we can update pretty easily.
Yes, hi, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the mobile view, I figured out where to find the hamburger menu on desktop view, but like in mobile view, can you see all of these Seneschal actions, like the add a gathering? Okay, yeah.
No.
So there's
Mobile is highly optimized for kind of add an event, very quick activities.
Yep,
So like
got it.
at an event, I'm done with the event. Let's submit all our waivers. I'm out of practice. I just got authorized. Let's submit an authorization. And if you're an authorizing marshal, there'd be another button there, and it would be to approve the authorization that maybe just got sent to you. So really the mobile experience is designed for like, think of it as like, what can I do or what should I be able to do very quickly at an event? And then if you need to do more than what you would kind of think of doing like at an event, that's what the desktop experience is for.
Yep.
Okay.
And so from the mobile app, if you say, well, no, I really need to get to that gatherings menu, just hit that switch to desktop, and it'll drop you into your web browser with the desktop view.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yep. But just fair warning, the desktop view is not optimized for mobile, so you're probably going to have to rotate the phone sideways and do a lot of scrolling.
Oh, I figured that out. Yep.
Okay, good. Another hand from Darlene, it looks like.
Yes, ma'am. Just real quick, I think you already said it, or it may be in these notes over here somewhere. How do you get to the mobile app on a Apple phone?
So probably the fastest way is log in to amp.ansteorra.org in your browser.
I'm there.
And then at the top of your page, there should be the mobile button.
Oops, wait a minute. Somehow I logged myself out. Okay, I'm back in.
Yep.
I see the mobile button and I did that.
Okay, click on that. And then the bottom center of your screen on Apple devices, there should be the share button. It looks like a rectangle with an arrow pointing up.
No.
Okay, there's sorry if you're on.
I'm looking at the desktop. I'm on the desktop.
Are you on a Macintosh or are you on an iPhone?
Chromebook.
Okay, you want to make an app on Chromebook. So making an app on Chromebook.
Oh.
You should just save it. You should just save if you're on a Chromebook, you should just save the desktop app, or you should just save the web page as a favorite.
Or I should go into my phone and go to AMP and then do it that way too.
If you want to put it on your phone, correct.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I misunderstood your question at the beginning, but yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of to summarize for local Seneschals, the new things that you'll kind of we want you to start doing an AMP. It's optional for at least 6 months, but we want to move this into being the normal practice, is adding gatherings into AMP or local activities that might need waivers. So if you're having, local crafting night, local rebel, that's not combat, don't worry about those right now. And then you and your other warranted officers use AMP to submit waivers for those activities once they're concluded. And as we mentioned, this will kind of doubled up on your reporting. but the goal is to phase the manual reporting of gatherings out, so that the data from AMP can just be used and aggregated automatically. To save you time. That's the hope.
And personal ask would be, go ahead and try it for other things and tell us where it doesn't work for you, because we do, like, there is a possible future where this is how things make it to the Kingdom calendar, or a projection of this is the Kingdom calendar.
Yep.
Because there's one of the nice things about the calendar is if you put all your practices up there, anybody in the kingdom can see this calendar. It's a shared calendar with the whole kingdom. So if I am going to Stargate and Stargate has put all of their practices in for the next couple of months, I can find out when, and if they've done the good job and put their address in there, I know where. It's so, like, this can really be a very useful tool for people in our kingdom who are using AMP to be able to do things, so try it and let us know. Obviously, this is still, the gatherings being more than just for waivers is absolutely in the piloting stage. Like, we want you guys to try it and tell us what. I don't use it for more than waivers because, like, where is it falling down on you? Try it for your major events and see what is missing to make it the landing page for your event. Like, oh, I couldn't make it on the landing page because of X, or I went ahead and made it a landing page, but I had to do these two things to make it officially the landing page. That feedback will allow us to make this a really, really useful, other than just waivers. And that's what we want to do. We want to make this super, super useful for the whole kingdom.
Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you all so very, very much for attending today. We hope that, oh, I see a hand, Jillian.
Please, please, please reach out to anybody in the AMP team if you need help.
Absolutely.
We're all here. We want you to succeed. So if you have any questions, contact any of us.
And we recommend the Discord because that hits all of us.
We are ridiculously responsive on Discord.
Yeah, that's it. We're very little delays on that one. All righty. I'm gonna call that the end of AMP for Seneschals.